Ted Kravitz has gave his F1 2003 order, but let's go to the most significant part of that because I mean he's put Williams last, he's put McLaren like eighth, but it's kind of hard to predict the midfield as he said. But he's actually put Aston Martin in P3 just behind Ferrari, but ahead of Mercedes. So let's break down the article. I watched the video. If you checked out the Spanish Grand Prix dropping the final chicane video, we uploaded earlier. I mentioned this slightly, but I thought I'd actually make a proper vid about it because this is good. If you're an Aston Martin fan, if you're a Fernando Alonso fan, or just a fan of, the underdog, because I know Aston Martin's made of money, but we want to see teams dismantle the top three and get in amongst them. That's what we want. We want a competitive field, and this is a step closer to that. But as you can see, this is what Ted Kravitz has said. He said, I've got Aston Martin third and potentially even a little bit closer to Ferrari. That's to do with Fernando Alonso's race runs, Kravitz told Sky F1. In Saturday's Bahrain Grand Prix, he's on about the long runs. He says it would have been Verstappen, Perez, and Fernando Alonso on the podium ahead of the Ferraris and the Mercedes, which is insane. Like, to me, that's unthinkable. Of course, we're going to have to see, the action on Sunday to be able to determine how good Aston Martin is. We're going to have to see a weekend. I know this is Bahrain. It could literally just be a one-track thing, but I doubt they're going to go for, actually legit competing for a podium on merit and then nowhere. But Red Bull looking very good. Talking about the fact that now they look good over one lap as well as a race distance, which doesn't bode well for a title in my opinion. But Adrian Newey has had Red Bull been worried about Aston Martin saying Adrian Newey, which is weird. And then he says that Alonso's race run on Saturday was the chef's kiss, and it's like, holy moly, this is absolutely insane. But Alonso's getting all this treatment. He says I'm going to be slightly redundant and say that Aston Martin are third and Mercedes are fourth at the moment. He believes Mercedes need a big jump in order to get back to third, but adds the fives from the camp are not good. Yeah, I kind of thought that Russell was talking shite about, they need some, but I don't think Mercedes were overly bad on the final day of testing, but again, they did do their lap on the C5. Well, Perez did his in the C4, and I think the fact that Perez is the most. No, I mean, I have nothing against Perez, but we just know he's nowhere near the level of Verstappen. If it was Verstappen doing the lap time, you could at least argue, well, maybe that's the peak of the Red Bull, But with Perez, I mean, let's be real. I mean, Verstappen, a couple of attempts in hand over Perez, so the Red Bull's a serious car, guys. But what we're interested in is the potential of the Aston Martin. So make sure you check out all the vids. I'll rank the cars soon, but to be honest, I think it would be a pretty similar order to Ted. I do genuinely believe that. But until next time, peace.